Hello, Coach Carfor here with the third video. I hope you all have been working on your ball handling using the first two videos that I gave you. Like I said in those videos, 10-15 minutes, as little as 10 or 15 minutes each day. Naturally, the more you do, the better, but as long as you're doing something, especially working on your weaker hand, which mine is my left, you'll become better ball handlers. Remember, always keep your eyes up and do not look at the ball as it's bouncing to the floor. Today's video is on defense, something that not a lot of players really have any kind of interest in becoming better at. Just from a coach's perspective, we are always looking for a shutdown kind of defender, someone that we can put on the other team's best player. You may not keep them from scoring at all, but if they're a 15 or 20 point, per game player, and you're able to keep them to half of their points, that enhances your team's chance to win. And the coaches that I know, even though I officiate now, the coaches that I know will play that player who is a good defensive player, even though they may not be much of a scorer, because what they may not score, if they can keep the other player on the other team from scoring, again, that enhances their chances to play. Defense is pretty simple. It's never played flat-footed, whether you're playing a zone or whether you're playing man-to-man or person-to-person, how it's called now. You should be on the balls of your feet. You're able to react quicker to your right, quicker to your left, quicker going backwards, quicker going forwards, if you are on the balls of your feet. If you're standing flat-footed, that second or so that it takes you to get on the balls of your feet and slide is enough for a defender to go by you, whether they have the ball or if they don't have the ball and you're trying to get into an open passing lane to get the ball. So it's very important to be on the balls of your feet. You might remember in some of the clinics you might have gone to, a good drill to build up that stamina is being on. I know you can't see my feet, but I'm moving my feet really quickly on the balls of my feet, okay? Another thing you want to do when you're playing defense is you want to have your knees bent. Now, it's kind of hard for you to see my knees, but your knees are bent and you're on the balls of your feet. So your reaction time is lower or sooner, and you can move again to keep a player or players from getting by you and getting in position to score a basket from a pass, or, as equally important, someone with the ball that dribbles by you. Harder for you to react if you're standing flat-footed or even on the balls of your feet with your legs straight, okay? So when you're doing that drill, you should have be on the balls of your feet, have your knees bent, and moving your feet, okay? That's two parts. The final part of the drill is to have your buttocks facing the floor and your back bent a little bit. So if you see me this way here, so now I'm ready to play D. I got my hands out in front, I'm on the balls of my feet, my knees are bent, and I could make my fast feet, we call it, okay? Good to strengthen your lower body, which is needed to be able to become that quick defender, okay? So balls of your feet, knees bent, buttocks to the floor, back arched a little bit, okay? I haven't brought the hands into it yet, not gonna worry about that. And when you're in this position on the balls of your feet, you could slide, okay? I'm gonna slide to my left, I'm gonna slide to my right. Now, I'm sliding on the balls of my feet, but I am not crossing my feet at all. You don't want to cross your feet over each other because then you could slip or trip yourself up. okay? You're going heel to heel, all right? I'm gonna stop the video for a second. I hope this works for you. So here I am, I'm on the balls of my feet, like this, and I can slide, and notice how my feet never cross each other, okay? They're always going heel to heel. When I come forward, it's heel to heel. When I go backwards, I go heel to heel. My body's like this all the time, all right? Make sure that that's what you're doing. You're doing it correctly this way. So, again, balls of your feet, knees bent. Now, what do we do with our hands? As an official, doing high school games, doing prep school games, the majority of the fouls that we call are what we call reaching in, okay? Your defender's handling the ball, dribbling the ball, closely guarded position like I told you in the other videos, and you want to steal the ball. If they hang that ball out in front of you, that's the opportunity for you to steal the ball. The worst way that you can do it that gives the perception of a foul, it may not always be a foul, but it can be the perception of the foul, is stealing the ball this way, slapping downward, because it sometimes looks like you're coming across their arms, even when you don't. And the perception is that you fouled them. The best way for you to steal the ball is this way here, upward, okay? If you're going upward, you're gonna hit the ball. You're not gonna necessarily hit their arm. And if you do tap their arm, it'll be probably after the ball's already loose. So you're not gonna be putting yourself into a position to get a foul call, okay? So that's really important. Okay, that's really important. So again, to repeat, balls of your feet, knees bent, back arched while your buttocks is facing the floor. When you slide, slide with your feet. Do not let your feet cross. Heel to heel. The heels don't have to hit. That's just an expression that we use. Dig for the ball this way, not over the top. Now, where should my positioning be? Common sense. You're guarding the player with the ball. You want to be standing between them and the basket. Sounds funny, but it's not always happens that way. You want to be between the person with the ball and the person with the basket, in the basket, so that they have to go around you or through you to score. If your person does not have the ball, another teammate of theirs has the ball, you should be in a position between the person you're guarding and the person with the ball. We call that being in the passing lane. If you are one pass away, which means the pass could be made from the person with the ball to your player, you should be in the passing lane, okay? So you could hit that ball away. If the ball is 2 passes away, you can get further away from your player. In fact, it's not good to be standing right next to them. So basically, what it comes down to is the further away that the ball is from the person you're guarding, it's safe for you to get away from them. The closer the ball comes to the person that you're guarding, you need to get closer and be in the passing lane, okay? Most fouls, and most coaches will get upset with their player, and most fouls, like I said, that are called by the official, is because kids, players, all ages, high school, prep school, maybe even higher level, think defense is the time to rest. That's quite the contrary. Defense is not the time to rest. Defense is the time to be on your toes, okay? Try to see your player and the ball at all times, even if you point to them sometimes, okay? If you have to, take your eye off your player for a second, just feel. Probably not going to get any type of foul call on that. Everyone does it. As long as you're not holding them naturally or impeding them from going to where they want to go. But being by them, like I said, you're not going to be able to do that if the ball gets further away. But another method of doing it is trying to get yourself in a position and just swivel your head. And that's exactly what you call it. I'm on the toes of my feet, and I'm just kind of swiveling my head, swiveling nice and quick. If I lose my player, I just adjust. If my player starts going towards the ball, I adjust. If my player moves away from the ball, I adjust and get further away. Okay? Same way with a zone. In fact, a lot of players think zones are easier to play. I don't think so. Man-to-man D, you're primarily guarding your man. You are helping out in case one of your players gets beat. When you're playing a zone, depending on what zone it is, some are more difficult than others. When you're playing in an area, you might have two people in that area that you're responsible for. So now instead of playing man-to-man with one person that you're responsible for at that time, unless you have to help, you're in an area where there's two people and you have to worry about both of them. And again, that depends on what kind of zone your coaches play. So again, balls at your feet, knees bent, back arched. Always be ready to move, never time to rest. And if you're going to dig for the ball while they're dribbling, dig this way. Don't dig this way. Okay? All right. Have a good one. See you next week.